girl Shay T with The Drive and
your boy DJ Quest One.
Thank you so much for being here today. Just want to ask you to subscribe, watch, like, and share.
Yes. We want to get 100 subscribers. If you can get to 100 subscribers, we're going to give out a gift card, $15 Amazon gift card.
So today we're going to talk about a recent string of officer attacks, like police officer attacks. So some of them have been killed in the line of duty. Some of them have just been injured. However, we think that this is a big deal. What do you think about that, Rick?
It's a big deal because as these cops go out and want to protect or want to serve, it's a crazy world out there.
Right. I mean, so I know that there's been a lot of violence from some officers against people of color. However, we have to kind of look at the big picture here, right?
Yeah.
So if the officers are coming to protect you, then they are looking for you not to have a gun out, or they're looking for you not to come at them, as if maybe there's something that they are fearing about, but then on the other hand, then officers some of them have to work on biases against people of color.
Yeah.
Because they would say something, some of them will say like, oh, I was fearing for my life. Okay, so you see people of color all the time, but in this situation you fear for your life, but you didn't fear for your life when you were walking down the street, at the park, or when you were in Walmart, or when you were at the grocery store, whatever. So I just think that there's a lot of stuff that, we can really hit on.
And it's happened in the last month? Or this month, right? It just started happening with all these shootings.
Yeah, like crazy. 2022, the bomb went off.
Yeah, wow. I don't know what's going on with these people. I don't know if they're angry, or maybe it's because of the pandemic. It keeps going back. You stay home, you have to do that. I'm not sure, but it's definitely. I would be scared to be a cop because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, because I think there was one situation recently when they were going to a domestic violence situation.
Yeah.
And I think in one of the previous episodes, guys, between here and the Trahan Therapy Center, I don't know where the episode was, but I know I kind of talked a little bit about, when women or people are in a domestic violence type situation,
right,
and how important it is to seek out help and support, because no one deserves to be in a domestic violence situation.
Right.
It's not to say that, people don't get upset sometimes. It's not about getting upset. It's what you do with that anger when you are upset,
Yeah, that's the thing, that people that have a lot of anger, they just see red, and they don't sit there and count backwards or try to talk it out. They just...
Right, they have no coping skills that are beneficial to them and their family. And so, people say, oh, well, she's a therapist, so she wants everybody to do therapy. No, it's not. You don't even have to come see me. But I think that if you're struggling with something, be it anger, anxiety, depression, frustration, bipolar, substance abuse, so many substance overuse. I mean, there's so many things. Sometimes it's just a simple relationship issues, that seek out support. Right. So that it doesn't get to this level of police involved, so that it doesn't get to the level of domestic violence,
Yeah. It's a tough situation, but the guy that was here, happened this past Thursday, where he shot 3 cops, and
I saw that video. Was crazy.
Well, what's going through his mind? What do you think?
They're not gonna get me, but he already had 2 warrants out for him.
Yeah, he had warrants too.
So he was like, oh no, y'all not gonna get me, I'm getting out of here. So he was driving away.
He had a modified gun too, it was like a 9, but it was like a machine gun at the same time.
Right.
It was.
I saw that.
Oh man, I mean, thank God the cops didn't get killed, but I mean, still, you're stopped for warrants. Why do you have to shoot the cops? What did they do to you? They're doing their job to stop you because you have tickets.
Well, maybe because he didn't get to follow through on what his goal was. Like, no, y'all can stop me right after I finish this.
Yeah, he was going to his ex-fiance's house and would probably shoot her.
Okay.
If you had a gun. So, I mean, that's one of those things that I I don't understand what's going through people's mind, but you're talking about mental health and the anger issues. And sometimes there's a lot of anger towards police, was sometimes what they do, but it's one bad apple ruins
a whole bunch.
a whole bunch.
And I see that in my fridge all the time when we're not eating all the apples. And one start making all the rest of them rotten. But, you know, another thought I had when I was thinking about this yesterday was that some people feel like, hey, now all of a sudden it's such a big deal. Like they went and got the guy from Mexico. He went to Mexico. So he ran off to Mexico. And it's like police officers' lives are so important. But I think that what needs to be heard is that all lives do matter. And I understand, I'm African American. I certainly understand the Black Lives Matter movement. I understand. And it's like, because people of color are often treated as if they don't have a voice. And within cultures and subcultures, there's often that happening amongst the light skin, the dark skin, the nappy hair, the straight hair, the curly hair, all that stuff, yeah, all those silly biases. But what I'm saying here is this, that police officers' lives matter, people of color's lives matter, all people's lives matter. And so we need to just step back a little bit and think about our role in society and what we do, and the ideas that we share with others are helping or harming our communities.
Yep, our community. It's not safe. And as far as guns, I own a gun, but I'm not gonna take it with me in my car or nothing. It's just to protect myself from anyone breaking in. But other people, there's a law in Texas where you can carry guns now. I'm not one to carry a gun. Why? And I think that's what happens too. Especially in Texas. I don't know about other states, but they can carry their own gun. And if they get angry at a cop.
Without a background check.
Yeah, without a background check.
So just all you got to do is go buy a gun. I mean, you used to have to go under the table. Yeah. But now, you know, for people that had issues, right? But now it's just like, hey, you know what? I'm angry. And I'm going to get them, you know. So I'm going to get me a gun. And it's going to be.
And also that goes to road rage.
All hell breaks loose. And there were several, like, was that between November and January? A couple of October, maybe October and January, maybe.
If y'all come to Texas, y'all watch it, because everyone has a gun here. Y'all come, do not cut in front of people. People are getting shot on the highway, Dallas, here, and San Antonio. Just, you know, they're not thinking. They're angry. They see red. And it's not worth it. It's not worth it, being mad, and let people in. Let people in, because I'm just saying, here in Texas.
You know what? It is. I feel blessed because, I work from.
You work from home. People that don't.
And that I don't have to drive so much, and so I feel better that I don't have to drive as much. I mean, but ultimately, I think that sometimes whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen, whether it's good or bad. However, I think that, like I was saying before, we have to think about, are we telling 2-year-olds, you're this color and you're proud and, you're better than everybody else and nobody's as good as you. And if you see people like this, don't talk to them, be mean, be rude, because they're nothing compared to you. We start training kids from a young age to dislike people for their race, for their creed, for their color, for the language they speak, for an original country where they, or their ancestors were first derived from. I think that is very sad. Yeah. But even on top of that, if a lot of those same hate mongers would go and take their DNA tests, a lot of them would see that they have roots in places that they say that they hate and they don't like. And so today I asked any hate monger to go and do a 23andMe, Ancestry, whatever kind of, get your background and know who you really are. Because maybe it'll silence you. Maybe it'll calm you down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. The crazy part is there is racism around the world, but specifically in the United States, it's still around, and that's sad.
And it's prevalent for no reason. Like, prevalent, like, I mean, it's
and then that's why I was saying road rage. So when, let's say, a cop stops them and they have that gun, and they're angry, they had a bad day at the office, they had a bad day at wherever they work at, take it out on the cop's just doing a routine stop, he's speeding, or she's speeding.
Right.
And they do that. And yeah, I just pray for those people that, I pray for the cops, and I pray for the people that are angry. Just calm down, take a breather, because it could be prevented. Now the guy's looking at 3 assault charges, attempted murder. He's going to jail. They already caught him. I think they caught him yesterday.
Which one are we talking about? The one with the 3 officers? Okay.
Yep.
They already went and caught the other one too. The one whose family members, his wife and his brother-in-law, they were cleaning out the vehicle. And then I missed something else on the tail end of that, because they arrested 2 more people related to that case.
They're accessory. They provided the gun. Yeah. So there are 3 people arrested, shot at 1 cop, and it's sad.
But I'm gonna have to say this though, that when I talk to people or just observe some things related to Houston and cracking down on crime, or at least kind of solving some of the crimes, it seems like HPD is solving crimes, but the offenders keep getting let out of jail, and then they're going to kill other people. And there was one who definitely got out and was drunk driving, and then I think killed people. There was some that had killed. Were charged with killing people and then came out and killed other people. So I mean, it's like, I mean, the system is not just broken. What would you say it is? It's almost moot. I mean, and
then you have the back cases because of the COVID. So it's just really messy right now. So I think that the jails were overpopulated at one point. So they started letting people out because of COVID, and it's just backdated court dates, new stuff coming in, new cases, and it's just
shortage of staff in the jails. Very huge
shortage of cops.
Yeah, shortage of cops, shortage of staff in the jail, in the prisons, shortage of staff. And
people don't want to. The COVID messed everything up. I just want to go back to COVID.
It certainly threw some major wrenches and things. I mean, we can't give it 100% to COVID, but we could say that certainly it threw a lot of wrenches and things. But some of our systems right now, I think we need to go back to the drawing board for some of this stuff. Like I said in a previous video, let out the non-violent offenders.
Yep.
Put these violent offenders away. I mean,
because what if that guy, he had 2 warrants. He was already violent. And he was out free. It's like a domino effect. It could have been prevented if he was in jail. But since they're short-staffed, they probably couldn't get him. And when they ran his license plate, like, oh, there he is.
But no, he had stolen 2 cars, right?
Oh, did he?
I thought he stole 2 cars.
Oh, okay.
So he just was off the charts altogether. So
I know he carjacked a Mercedes-Benz, and then they shot out the back window, and then he ran away, and then he ran into some house or something.
Oh, my word. Yeah, guys. So anyway, violence against your neighbor, violence against police officers, I mean, they're usually senseless, and there are ways. So some people say MLK is, hey, that's the past and none of that matters now. But the way that we got through was through non-peaceful means. And so I'm saying that if you can think through a problem, that you can come together. Certainly, there's lots of programs, and I'm going to point to Los Angeles, where there's lots of programs where a lot of gang members come together at the table with mediators and sit down and discuss things, and so if gang members could do that, certainly the non-gang members that's on the street should be able to find some mediator, some middle ground, because it's more than enough of the pie to go around, no matter what it is. Yeah. And so I think that there's always a positive solution. And I don't just think that's because I'm a therapist. I feel like I'm a realist in that in my life. I mean, I feel like in most situations, there's always been a positive solution where it could be win-win. I mean, it may not be 100% of what you was looking for. You might get 87%. They might get, their 87%. But at the end of the day, there's positive ways to solve problems. And we don't have to always go towards violence. I don't think that's rarely an answer. And I was in the military, and I'm still going to say that's rarely an answer, rarely a solution to the problem.
Yeah, and the gang violence in LA and Chicago is pretty bad, and we don't have gang violence here like we used to in the 90s. It's changed. It's a whole different spectrum, but yeah, going back to that, there's something needs to happen to where these people need to be already flagged, to where they already have a violent past hurting these cops that are just doing their jobs. It's sad, but hopefully it can get better. You set rules down. They got to go back to the drawing boards and do something for these violent offenders. The guy that, for example, I'm sure there's some plenty other. So.
And then also, I was thinking about this the other day. I was driving down a particular street, not too far away from here, and I was just thinking about how sometimes people who can get into a decent apartment community might allow a violent offender to live with them and not put them on the lease, thereby putting the community at risk.
Oh, wow. Background check.
And I don't think that is fair and right. I think that there are communities that allow violent offenders to live there, and that's open, to them. And that if you are a person who can get into a place that's don't have a record or is not an offender, and you let someone that's a violent offender live in your place without meeting the proper criteria of the apartment community, that you are putting people in harm's way, and that's not right.
That's not right. And people can change, and I know some people don't believe in a higher being, they don't believe in God, or whatever the reason might be. They don't want to go to church. But if you read the Bible, just go by the Bible. Just read the Bible.
Or the Quran, a lot of them say.
And everything else will work out. It'll work itself out. If you read it, it's there. There's rules in the Bible, and I'm telling you, it'll help you. It'll help you, as far as your life and changing around. If you're violent, you can always change to be, you're negative, be a positive person, and things will work out.
Can't keep living by the Old Testament.
Yep.
An eye for an eye. That's not okay. That's the past. Supposed to be living in the New Testament, but it's not about to be church. But I'm just saying, the New Testament, okay? Get with the New Testament.
Yeah.
Even though God said He will forgive us for our sins, it doesn't mean we'll keep committing the same sin over. Okay, God, sorry, I killed somebody yesterday. Okay, go back the next day, kill somebody. Okay, God, I'm sorry, I killed somebody. Forgive me. No, that's not how it works. It's just like in one of my videos, I think on a Trahan Therapy Center, I had said that it's very important to say I'm sorry when you mess up, but you shouldn't keep messing up on the same thing, because you're not really sorry. Like, if you learned a lesson, do something differently. If you didn't learn a lesson, stop saying I'm sorry. Just say, well, I did that because that's what I wanted to do.
And that's called a trust bank. And you keep telling that same person, I'm sorry, that trust bank is just going to get empty, and that's it.
Stop apologizing if you're not sorry for what you did. Honey, I know I was over there with Quenisha and I couldn't help myself, and I did it 10 different times. Stop apologizing. Just go be with Quenisha. Stop playing these games.
Yeah,
stop playing these games. Be real with yourself. Be real with others.
Yep. Or anything in life. You have to learn from your mistakes and definitely capitalize on that, because I know people like that.
For sure. Guys, you can catch DJ Quest 1 and your girl Shay T right here on The Drive. We're working on a couple of times a week. So hopefully you will subscribe, watch, like, and share. And then repeat. Subscribe, watch, like, and share. Subscribe, watch, like, and share.
I'm going to have to make a little song for that. Okay.
Holla at your boy.
All right. Until next time, guys. And girls. Peace.